Uncle Tom's Cabin is about a slave named Uncle Tom, who is based on the life of Hosea Henson. In this 1852 book, written by Harriet Beecher Stowe, Tom is originally the slave of a Kentucky farmer who is named Arthur Shelby. Arthur, who was struggling with money, had to let go of Tom. Tom is then sold to Dan Haley, who was a slave trader. When Tom is on the boat on the Mississippi River, he meets Ava. He quickly becomes friends with the girl. Then, after she falls into the river, Tom jumps in to save Ava. Later, Ava begged her father to buy Tom from Haley. They get closer as friends as Ava reads the Bible to Tom because he can't read. This makes Ava love Christianity. After Tom lived with Ava and her father for 2 years, Ava began to fall very sick. After she died, her father was more into Christianity than ever before. This was because the influence of Tom and Ava. He decided to save all his slaves and let them be free, but soon after he is killed. A new slave owner takes Tom, who is named Simon Legree. Simon also has 2 other slave girls. Tom is set to pick cotton. After Tom meets Simon's other slaves, he learned how awful he is. Tom then tries to help the other slaves. Then Simon figures this out. He beats Tom savagely. After months on this, Tom's faith started to dwindle. But the other slaves didn't give up hope and decided to make a plan to escape Simon. Simon picks up on the plan and interrogates Tom, who knows about the girl's plan. Tom refuses to tell and Simon gets furious. Tom is then whipped to the brink of death, but will soon die to the severe beatings. Just before he dies, Tom forgives Simon Legree, even after everything he's done to him. In the end, the 2 slave girls that Tom sacrificed his life for made it out and became free. After his death, the 2 girls would share Tom's story and what he did for them. Tom's legacy would live through these girls. Tom's story, while not real, is inspired by the man named Hosea Henson. The story Uncle Tom's Cabin has inspired real people from now and especially when it was written in 1852. But some people did not feel quite the same way about this book. This book is very divisive for a lot of people. In the first year alone, the book sold over 300 copies. This shows just how impactful this one book was. This one book helped take steps closer to the Civil War. The book was praised for showing how bad slavery really was. It really put you into the shoes of a slave and showed you how cruel the reality that many people were not willing to see. It made people empathize for slaves. Whites in the South were not a fan of the book, however. They were worried that if it got to slaves, they might start to stand up for themselves. They were scared of rebellions that could happen because of this book. When the book got to slaves, they weren't exactly happy with it too, but for a different reason. Some people thought that the characters were very stereotypical. Some people didn't like how the author, Harriet Beecher, never showed Tom overcoming the power that Simon Legree had over him. He sacrificed himself for 2 slaves, but did not do anything beyond that. This is why there are some people who thought that story wasn't forceful as it could have been. But overall, the Northerns were more strengthened by the book and their thoughts on slavery, and the South was weakened by people who were starting to go against slavery. The ideas and themes of this book were very impactful on many people's lives. The themes of this book were slavery and treating people as if they were objects or machines. It showed just how wrong slave owners were and showed it straight to their faces. What their actions were doing to real people with real emotions, it pushed back against the ideas that many people had at the time, that people of color did not possess the same emotion or intelligence as white people. It was made to show that slavery really morally wrong and needed to come to an end soon. This book was very important for many different individuals and is still important even today. As we know, some descriptions of how bad it was. Although, to us, it seems like it happened a long time ago, and we don't think about it in our day-to-day life, this book is a good glimpse into the life of slaves almost 200 years ago.